Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome to the Go Home show for the Mind Games pay-per-view. And look at the ladies talking some smack backstage. And it looks like they're going to go to blows. I wasn't sure for a second there. I thought for the first time in WIW history we were actually going to just get an exchange of words and no fists. But of course, that's not how these two ladies roll. And these two have been feuding for weeks, but from Sandra's perspective, it must feel like she's been fighting two different people. Because each week she comes out looking completely different, and she never knows what she's going to expect. Two different attitudes, it feels like at times. And I don't know what's going on with Laura Stables, but she's been an aggressive fighter, and she's been a great fighter, and she's been the only one who's really been a challenge to the dominant fighter that has been Sandra Piper. And right now, Sandra Piper beating her down in the backstage area. And these two just trying to get one over on each other before the Mind Games pay-per-view, which is going to be a fantastic show indeed. It's going to be absolutely brilliant from start to finish. Oh, look at that. There's a chop block. And of course, last Mayhem, we found out who the team representing Fight Night, representing Mayhem will be. Oh, look at that. Just tosses her into the box. Nasty impact there. And Laura Stables getting what's worth here. Oh, her head! Oh, dear. That's not a great place to land. And another one. Oh, my gosh, she might land back on it again with the third one. Oh, she hit the wall! The wall! And Sandra Piper sending a message to her Fight Night Women's Champion opponent. Do not mess with Sandra Piper. Big impact onto the canvas. And look at this, she's still not done. She wants to send this warning. She's sending a message to Laura Stables. So all the card is set. We know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view. Nothing should be there to surprise you. We know everything that's going to happen. And everyone's been feuding for weeks. This Fight Night and Mayhem rivalry really has kicked up a couple of gears these last couple of weeks, and you can feel the effects of it here, forming some serious grudges here between two of the most dominant women in WIW today, Laura Stables and Sandra Piper. And right now these two just destroying one another here in the backstage area, and a beautiful slam there and the double underhook, and another one, and a cartwheel follow through for a third potentially. Yes, she can. And Stables refusing to give in. This is her home turf. This is where she fights. This is her ground. And she's not letting it back down. Oh, look at this. Oh, taken down there by Sandra Piper. Neither side giving an edge. And they won't at the pay-per-view either. The pay-per-view will be no exception to that rule, and a big powerbomb. Oh, but look at this. She's not done. Look at the strength of Sandra Piper. And she lays her out cold for tonight's start to the show. Well, it's been heated between these two for weeks, but the question is, when Mind Games happens this Sunday, who is going to walk out on top? Will it be the Mayhem Women's Champion, Sandra Piper, or will it be the Fight Night Women's Champion, Laura Stables? We'll have to find out soon, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Well, next up tonight, a tag team rematch for the Death Ninjas. Oh, and these two, they were not waiting around to get some revenge. Last week, losing on count out to the Death Ninjas, and the Blood Brothers had decided that they didn't want to ruin their big name reveal last week, and now they're getting some revenge. They requested the rematch, which the general manager was obliged to, and it looks like this was going to happen eventually. And now look at this, the Blood Brothers bullying Def Lordicus, but Def Lordicus was their biggest problem last week. Of course, it was Harry who picked up the win after picking it up on count-out. But Big Boss and Bruiser Brad sending a warning. It looks like Harry and Big Bruiser Brad are getting themselves into position. They do want this match to begin, but they wanted some revenge, and this is exactly the opportunity they're getting. But look at Lordicus, not backing down for a moment, and even doing press-ups on him, taking the mick out of them there. And Def Lordicus and he can't do this tactic because the bell hasn't run yet. And look at this, Def Lordicus adding insult to injury here, taking him to the exact same spot where they were counted out last week. and trying to beat him down on the ramp, trying to get a bit of extra damage for a bit of payback there. And these two teams, two very, very different teams. And look at the strength of Lordicus lifting up over 600 pounds. And now look at this. Big Boss takes him down. He isn't having any of that. Look at that. There's the leg drop. That's a lot being brought down on the face. And now being brought back to his feet. And this match, it may or may not start. God knows what's going on. These two going further and further up the ramp. We might not even see the start of this one. But Def Lordicus refusing to give in, refusing to let them get the advantage. And they continue to move further and further up the ramp. This match is never going to start at this rate. If they continue to move forward rather than backwards, they need to get this one in the ring, or this isn't going to start at all. But Big Boss doesn't seem to care about that. They have every intention of beating the crap out of the Def Ninjas for what they did last week, ruining their big name announcement and attire announcement. And looks like Theodore Adam Wright hasn't come down to the ring. I guess he assumed that this was going to happen. Can you blame him? I would have assumed so as well. And now Def Lordicus finally going to get this one back into the ring. And the referee waiting for Lordicus to get back in the ring. Who's taunting them? And so I think Lordicus was their biggest problem because they had Harry under wraps. Harry did run away though and win on count out. But oh, look at that. Referee gets taken down there with the crash. Oh, look at that. Already looking for the split-legged moonsault, but turned into a single-leg Boston Crab. Wrenching away there, and that's a lot of pressure being put on that knee. And Def Lordicus last week, as I was saying, was taunting, was having fun, and he actually caused the Blood Brothers serious amounts of problems, which is why, of course, they were increasingly frustrated as that match went on. Look at Lordicus. It's just enjoying himself here, showing to be the true veteran here. As we know he is, and Harry is loving it. Harry can't believe his eyes of how easily he's dealing with Boss and Bruiser Brad. Maybe Boss and Brad have actually found their kryptonite. And now he's in the corner, and that's not where he wants to be. Tossed down onto the floor. What's Lordicus thinking here? To the top rope he goes. And look at this. Oh, and a beautiful leg drop from Def Lordicus. Oh, and he needed to tag out to Bruiser Brad there because he has lost the control of this one. But no, to the corner he goes. Tag is made. And we saw this last week, but in a rather weird fashion. This time it was definitely a legal tag. Harry and Def Lordicus with the skyscraper elbow drop. And Big Boss and Bruiser Brad has their chance of revenge. Got a straight. No, Brad breaks it up at the count of 2. Oh, look at that, and just shrugs the... Oh, what a catch! What? Harry showing some aerial ability and then dodges the Big Boss's spear. Holy crap, that was a chaotic few seconds. I didn't even really see what was going on. And the Def Ninjas, they are feeling confident right now. They're seeing there are cracks in the armor. They already have a defeat. They've already beaten them once. And now they're really bringing it to them to bring them down to the point where Harry is now in firm control of Big Boss in the ring. He dodges the spear, but now can he capitalize a bit further? Sends him to the opposite side of the apron, and then just takes him down to the outside where Harry, look at this, begging him back to his feet. Harry looking to fly again. Harry looking to fly. Oh, the cross body. And Big Boss didn't have the strength to hold himself up. But what a display this has been from the Def Ninjas. Maybe this trade to Fight Night was exactly what they needed to get themselves going here. This is exactly what they needed to re-spark their chances of a title hunt. Because they are really bringing it to him here. And look at this, Big Boss. Bruiser Brad's had enough. And he saves his partner by chucking Harry into the ring. And now Harry, oh, and a massive elbow to the jaw. And now Harry, I think he might want to tag. And he does. He had time to recover there, but crawled over anyway. And now Def Lordicus, who's going to go out to pursue Big Boss again. But Bruiser Brad has had enough. And the two of them combine for a massive shot to Lordicus. And Lordicus gets tossed back into the inside by Bruiser Brad. And Bruiser Brad must be desperate for a tag at this point. But Big Boss, determined to prove himself. He didn't get off to the best of starts in his career. And now since this tag team, he has been more successful than he's ever been. and now wants to make sure that he doesn't lose his partner's trust just a matter of weeks into this tag team partnership. But as for Lordicus and Harry, they've looked bloody impressive in this match. But they were caught off guard at the beginning, so they are still feeling the effects of the early attack. So it wouldn't surprise me if they start to slow down very early on, because they've given a lot of energy here in the first 5 minutes in this match. And they might have done that too early to give themselves a real chance of fighting back. They had to wrap that one up early if they could, and the skyscraper elbow job didn't do the job thanks to the interruption from Bruiser Brad. And now Brad is finally in a look at that. He is ready for a fight. He is eager to get himself in the ring and lay down the beating here on him. But look at the power! The power of Death Lordicus. And I don't know how this man does it. Tag made, and I tell you what, the Blood Brothers must be furious at this point, because the most unique tag team in all of WIW is bringing a fight to them. Even jump from behind, and they're still providing an amazing fight. And look at this. Oh, dropped from about 7 foot in the air. Bruiser Brad going to take the time to taunt here. He seems confident. I think he knows, because he knows he has the advantage over Harry at least. Lordicus has been proving a bit of a problem, but to be fair, even Harry is providing a fight. Look at this. Prevents the suplex and lands one of his own. And we know he has that natural ninja strength. And now look at this, there's the shooting star press. Harry is on fire. And so is Death Lordicus, but now trying to extinguish that fire just with the pure strength and beatdown ability. That's what they've got to do to keep themselves going in this match, Brad and Boss, because right now they are being absolutely embarrassed. Death Lordicus and Harry, they had a great showing last week, and of course only winning on countout, but I have never seen them putting as much effort into this match as I have seen him put into any other match. What an impressive showing it's been from the Death Ninja so far. Look at this. Bruiser Brad's pacing. He doesn't know what to do, because it seems like Harry and Lordicus have an answer for everything he has to bring. And now Bruiser Brad in the corner. Oh, but look at this. Harry getting distracted here by his partner. Big Boss saying a few things. Oh, and look at this. Harry going to be made to pay for that distraction. Headbutt to the back of the head and tossed to the ring. And Big Boss does well there. He's distracted Harry and killed the momentum for the moment. And now Harry trapped in the corner. That's not where he wants to be. If he gets a massive run up on this, a splash in the corner. And now look at this. The momentum might have just shifted there off that distraction. And now the tag is made. Oh, and it's going to be connecting on Harry. Oh no. Look at the amount of impact. Half a ton of bricks crashing down onto the 5 foot, 100 and God knows how many pounds, and into the cover. And Lordicus has not very generously kept this match alive. Oh, and beautiful counter on the hit toss. Look at this. Lordicus has been unbelievable in this match. But I'm telling you what, look at Harry. He is down and he must be out for the count. Half a ton has just been dropped on top of him. And there's no way he's going to find a fight back in this one after that. Lordicus managed to, but he has a lot more built-up strength than Harry does, being a natural cruiserweight and a very small man at that. It's definitely going to have a lot more of an impact on him. And it might be too little too late now, looking for the boss kick with his partner down on the outside. Harry in a lot of trouble, and it connects, and he didn't even need that much of a lift of the leg. Harry is down and he's being dragged away from Lordicus's corner, but to be honest, I'm not sure Lordicus is going to want to get in there. Harry's been beaten down to a pulp, but he still kicks! He still kicked! What? How the hell has Harry just kicked out of that? I can't believe it, folks. Harry's still going after having half a ton dropped on him, takes him down with the drop kick, and signals to the crowd who can't believe their eyes that Harry has just taken down Big Boss after receiving half a ton of bricks landing on him. And now look at this. Oh, and that's an insta-curry. And Harry's being smart here. He's got a good strategy. Keep him down. He might want to tag out, though. He can see he is hurting. He's hurting bag. And he might be able to get that tag here. Oh, wait, Harry, what's he thinking? Oh, my God. No way. Now, I know he's been able to lift him so far, but surely he can't do this. No way can he lift him. Superplex! What the hell? Harry just lifted 600 pounds through the air and connects with an outside superplex. Well, maybe we're going to need to reread those scales because I'm not sure about Big Boss weighing 600 pounds anymore. Because Harry, we know he's incredibly strong and we've seen him lift some of the biggest people in WIW so far in his career. But Jesus Christ, that was impressive. And now look at this, he's just got the speed advantage on him. Big Boss and Bruiser Brad, they just don't know what to do. They're too much of a mismatch on paper, and they shouldn't be able to provide a fight back, but the Def Ninjas have been fantastic in this one. Look at this. Brad tried to hop in off the tag, and he does. Connects with that drop kick and another one. And Bruiser Brad showing a little bit of speed there with the drop kicks. Connecting pretty quickly. And Harry, he's fought back valiantly. The Def Ninjas have put on an incredible performance. But the power and the willpower that is from the Blood Brothers just refusing to give in at every hurdle. They don't want to be embarrassed again by the Def Ninjas, who of course are a very strong tag team and a very strong unit, but of course nobody likes to lose to a guy with pink hair and a guy who calls himself a ninja. But now in the corner, his partner's got nowhere to go. If they can connect here, this might be it. There's the uppercut, they're setting it up. Big Boss is nowhere to be seen. Def Lordicus being lifted in the air by Harry Austin. There's the skyscraper elbow drop. And Big Boss back to his feet, but can he get there in time to save his partner too? No, he can't. The Def Ninjas have done it again. And even with an ambush this time, the most unique tag team in all of WIW have done it again. They have pulled off the upset of the century for a second time. Unbelievable stuff, and I'm telling you what, Bruiser Brad and Big Boss are not going to be happy about this, because once again, Harry and Def Lordicus, with the skyscraper elbow drop, has picked up another win here on Fight Night, currently undefeated, and if they carry on like this, it ain't going to be too long before these guys are going to be in the tag team title hunt. What an impressive display it was from them. I have never been so impressed with this team before. They've looked great in the past, but that was by far their best performance to date. And can they carry this momentum and go on to pick up some further wins in the tag team division? Well, the Blood Brothers, they are not going to be happy. Twice they faced this team now, and twice they've been on the losing end. It's not a good feeling in the world, but can they bounce back from this and maybe move forward to capture some tag team gold themselves? We don't know yet, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Well, next up tonight, some more in-ring action from the newest member of the Fight Night roster, and of course the runner-up of the Road to Glory tournament. It is JW Cashman, and despite the obvious differences in opinion that we may have, you can't for his wrestling style. He's getting the job done inside the ring now, and after that initial defeat in the ring on his debut, he's worked his way up, he's working it again, and now he's feeling confident to the point where he has requested a rematch with Dino D, and of course Dino D, eager to get some in-ring time here as he's new to the Fight Night scene, was happy to oblige. And of course, Peter Bolton and JW Cashman been exchanging words over the last couple of weeks after their last couple of confrontations. But for Cashman, it's all about respect. It's all about the respect he believes he deserves and the respect. And to an extent, I respect that, but I do not appreciate his method, and especially don't appreciate the way he's been calling me out in the comments as well. That is just how I see it, and that's how I feel about it. But at the same time, I do respect the hustle. But his man as well, he is someone who's been doing things to get the wins the right way. And here comes Dino D, looking very clean here tonight in that new Dino D shirt there. Looking fantastic as always. But Dino D, after a very slow start to his career, has looked absolutely brilliant since making the switch to Fight Night. And you know what? Quite a few people have. A lot of people have looked pretty good out of the gate in their inaugural matches here. William Hale looked particularly impressive. Didn't quite get his victory, if I remember correctly, but he looked impressive. And also the Death Ninjas, who have looked absolutely brilliant as a tag team force since they've made the switch. But for Dino D, it's about getting the wins and getting the grind, and he doesn't like to be told that his wins were flukes or that he was lucky to get them. He wants nothing more than to prove he's a legit superstar and he knows how to get the job done. So for Cashman and Dino D, this is going to be an interesting one. We've seen how this one goes in the past, but let's see how it goes tonight. And now Dino D, look at that, straight out the gate with the Hurricane Rana, not wasting any time. JW Cashman, of course, will be eager to get on the front foot early because he knows what happens if you give Dino D the space to capitalize on it. Look at that, there's a beautiful little stalling brainbuster there. And JW Cashman will not be afraid to bring out the big guns and the big moves straight out the gate, such as the Northern Lights that bridges into the brainbuster. And of course we know he has that $1 million shot and 630 senton that can wrap up the fight at any given time. But we also know that Dino D is capable of the big moves, of course, following in the ways of some of the greatest wrestlers in history with that devastating code breaker that he has. And we know that has the potential to wrap up the fight. We've even seen the connection of the diving. Hold on a minute! That's Peter Bolton! Peter Bolton, what's he doing here? And now he's trying to get himself involved, but Cashman's having none of it. Oh, and Cashman interrupts the powerbomb. No, Dino D interrupts the powerbomb. Wait a minute, what? Cashman wins on DQ, apparently. Well, that's an interesting way to end that one. But Dino D and Peter Bolton just taking down Cashman there by the looks of things. And it looks like Peter Bolton still wants a piece of JW Cashman. Well, it's gone from exchange of words to exchanges of fists. How is this going to develop later on down the line? I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have to move on down the rest of our card. Next up tonight, hopefully a match that won't get interrupted. Although I'm not seeing that so far because right now Mind Games has been building up for weeks and these two sides have been colliding for a lot of that time. And things are just reaching boiling point and everybody is so eager to get to Mind Games and finally settle it in the ring. But tonight the television champion makes his way down to the ring in another non-title match, and as much as I know he doesn't enjoy not defending his title, the general manager is saying, you know, keep it clean, keep it fresh. We've already got 2 title matches at the pay-per-view. We don't need any more. And as much as I'd love to see the TV title and the European title on the line, it's just not practical. We're not trying to unify both shows in the first 6 months of the show's existence. But the television champion, he is here tonight and he's about to get a big warm-up, and it's someone he's familiar with. Someone that he had a little bit of a feud with for a couple of weeks, and unfortunately it led to a devastating squash at the pay-per-view. But that's because Big Willie's unstoppable when the title's on the line. But let's see if this man can get the job done when the title is not on the line. His name, of course, is the first ever World Heavyweight Champion, Original Brad. He is back here in ring action and looking to try and make things happen for himself again, because he's been slipping as of late. Things haven't gone his way. Not everything has gone according to the plan for the once World Heavyweight Champion, the first World Heavyweight Champion, and of course one of only 2. But since then he's been slipping. He hasn't been able to make himself to the Fight Night Captain, or to capture the TV title, or to beat Sam, or any of the Wolfpac for that matter. Things have not gone great for Original Brad, but he's on the road to redemption. He's trying to bounce back, and a big win over the TV champion can do that. Although we've seen in the past that is easier said than done for the former world champion. But we will see. Big Willie, I tell you what, if he was the face for that world championship, he'd be a sure thing, wouldn't you think? Then again, of course, we've seen what happens when Big Willie and King Sam get in the ring with each other. The same result as always, everybody taps. Big Willie has evolved a lot since then. And look at this, the frustrations. You can see all that built up anger after all the things that have been going wrong over the last couple of weeks. For the last couple of months now, to be fair, things have just been collapsing for sorry, too many Brads in this place. I was going to say Bruiser Brad. Oh, look at this. Beautiful elbow combination there. And following through with a clothesline, and Had a little bit of a stutter in the run-up there, but manages to connect cleanly, and there's a body splash. And of course, keep your eyes out for the ramp, ladies and gentlemen, because we know at any time there could be the European champion, Brad Skeens, who's already made it clear that he has every intention of making things easier for himself at Mind Games. And that's really all it is. It's all about protection from himself, because he knows how powerful, as Brad just felt there with that shoulder tackle, how powerful Big Willie is. And of course, only beaten by 3 other men in the past. And Brad trying to make it 4 if he can, but Big Willie and Brad Skeens is going to be one hell of a contest at the Mind Games pay-per-view. And I know who's going to have the most, who's going to be the favourite to win it. That is definitely going to be the Big Willie. But other than that, it could go either way. It could be anyone's game. And straight out the gate here, Brad is looking very impressive. He's really learning. I think the more times he gets into the ring with the big guy, he's starting to learn what to expect. And that, I think, is becoming a bit of a trend as well, because you've noticed Peter Bolton, he's getting more wins over the television champion, even though he failed to capture the championship at the last pay-per-view. Sol Manicure, of course, was a matter of trial and error for him to pick up his first win against the champion. And of course, King Sam had beaten him before, just not on one-on-one occasions, and that helped him to realise what he had to do to pick up that win as well. But, of course, it is a much easier thing said than done when dealing with Big Willie. The television champion has been so dominant since capturing that championship. And of course, as we know on Fight Night, the titles very rarely change hands. Of course, we only have 2 World Heavyweight Champions in history. One of them steps in the ring tonight. The other is King Sam, the current holder. There are only two television champions in history. One of them, of course, is stepping in the ring as well, Big Willie. And Travis is the other one who just recently got traded a Fight Night. Here's the cover. He's only going to get a 1. And, yeah, so the only other television champion has been traded to Fight Night. To Mayhem, excuse me. And now, of course, to top it all off, we only have 1 women's champion in history currently, and 1 tag team champion. And now look at this! The original Brad looking for the dislocation of the arm with the old school. And now look at this, beating him back to his feet, but big counter, just shrugging it off. Big Willie, and that's that core strength at the heart of the television champion. And Brad finds a way to kick out at 1. And these two putting on a much better battle than they did at the pay-per-view. Although, to be fair, that's harsh, because it was a fantastic fight, both exchanging big moves, such as the battle axe, and of course the running power bomb. But on the day, Brad just couldn't get it done. But can he get it done tonight? Brad has got the champ in a bad position here. Battle axe, he connects! Right in the middle of the ring too! Big Willie is in trouble here. Has Brad got it back? He got one! He got one! Original Brad picks up a big win, and Big Willie is really starting to feel the effects of the constant attacks over the last couple of weeks. He's being beaten down, and Original Brad takes advantage. The TV champion's not happy, but the crowd cheer him on anyway, and he holds his title in the air, and here comes, just staring him down, almost laughing at him for another defeat. Here comes Brad Skeens. Well, these two are going to collide at the pay-per-view, but the question is, when the pressure is on and these two finally step into the ring toe-to-toe, who is going to walk out the winner? Will it be the television champion, or will it be the European champion? We'll have to find out soon, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some more tag team action and some more warm-up for Mind Games. And this is all this is tonight. It's a go-home show, and everybody's just eager to get in the ring and get some warm-up practice, because they've got biggest matches that they have had for a while, if not ever. And tonight, Carter James and KO Oxley are the co-captains, of course, of Team Fight Night. And of course, they're in for the biggest fight of their careers so far. Since forming a tag team, they have been absolutely dominant. And now they get the chance once again to face the Wolfpac tonight. Only David and Steve tonight, though. They are getting themselves some warm-up against the Fight Night Tag Team Champions. They want to see where they fare in the tag team division as well, though, because I'm sure they'll be very eager to capture the tag team titles if they are granted the title opportunities from the win at Fight Night, if they do pick up the win at Mind Games. And of course, it will be these two, SaLgames and Max Danger, who will be going up against the team of Jaden, the team captain, Justice, and Alan Hart at the Fight Night versus Mayhem pay-per-view that is Mind Games. It's going to be one hell of a contest, and I cannot wait for that pay-per-view at all. It's going to be one hell of a show, but we're going to get a hell of a show here tonight because we know it's always a great night when the Wolfpac are here. David and Steve, after suffering their first defeat in a 6-man tag team match as the Wolfpac to Team Fight Night, the Fight Night team sent a warning, not only to David and Steve, who I'm sure they'll be very eager to go for their titles very soon, but not only that, they are after showing a message to Fight Night that they are not, to Mayhem, that they are not messing around. They're ready to take the win, and they will do it however they need to, whatever means necessary. And David and Steve tonight, they need to start showing themselves as well, because so far, even though Kazarian, Xander, and Patrick Green lost last week, it's been Kazarian, Xander, and Patrick Green that have been carrying the momentum, because they've been beating them with the attacks and stuff and the blind sights. But then again, when they step into the ring, right now the Wolfpac have control. But it's always back and forth between these two teams, but it's a matter of who can get the job done on the day. And that's exactly what we'll find out here. KO Oxley and Dave are going to start us off here. And the usual starters for these two. Carter James, becoming a lot more of a closer as of late. When he gets into the ring, likes to get the job done as relatively quickly and as relatively freshly as he can. And these two, of course, the co-captains of Friday Fight Night. Carter James winning the captaincy rights at the last pay-per-view. And then swiftly announcing a co-captain of KO Oxley. And these two have built up such a strong alliance as of late. And David and Steve really need to keep their eye on these two, because they will be gunning for their titles very soon. And of course, if they do win at the pay-per-view, the general manager said he will happily grant him and their team title opportunities. So for Max Danger, who's already missed the Money in the Bank, imagine that, having that Money in the Bank briefcase and also having a world title opportunity. It's definitely looking good for Max Danger. And now look at this. Crunching him up here for added impact. Oh, look at the sharpness on that suplex. Devastating impact there. David coming out the gate strong. Well, as for David and Steve, it's about showing their strength in the tag team division as much as anything else, but it's also about preparing themselves for the task at hand, because they've seen the effects of KO Oxley and Carter James. Here we go, double tag. Double tag, and in comes Steve. And Steve straight out the gate with a Superman punch, not wasting any time, and a spear to follow through. He just did Roman Reigns' entire repertoire. And did it quicker than he did as well. Just comes to show a lot about Roman Reigns, doesn't it? But I'm not here to throw shade. I'm here to talk about the Wolfpac and KO Oxley and Carter James. Yeah, so for the Wolfpac, it's about pride this match, because they've already lost to the Linebacks once before. And of course, they said that they were the most dominant tag team of all time. The Linebacks, they challenged that, and they walked out the winner, and that was without Coach Wilson at ringside. At this pay-per-view, Coach Wilson will be at ringside. So it's hard to imagine that they wouldn't be able to repeat history. And I think Carter James just managed to duck that Phoenix Splash from the middle rope. And now look at this. Oxley tagged in, but he went straight to the top rope. And he's going to be made to pay for that. Steve up on the top rope with him. What's he got planned for him? Maybe looking to fly. He does. Superplex. Oh, but look at this. Follows through with a beautiful slam down. Beautiful combination there by Steve. So for Steve and Dave, pride is on the line. And now look at this. The super kick. Sending a warning shot to the team captains, of course, because we know they will be gunning for their titles if they get the chance. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? No, it's not. Yes, so David and Steve sending a warning shot, if any, because last week they suffered a defeat to these two. And now they might get the idea that they are beatable. And the Wolfpac sending a message tonight that they are not. Steve with the pedigree. KO Oxley's down, but is he out? Into the cover. The referee's very slow to count, and Carter James is able to get there as a result. But look at this, David takes down Carter James with a massive DDT. And now with no Carter James, Oxley is vulnerable. Looking to fly. Oh, went for the Phoenix Splash, but well dodged there by KO Oxley. But Oxley has no one to tag to, and he's taking some hits now, so he's got to fight back here and trying to do something there in the double knees there. of the Fireman's Carry Gutbuster. And these two teams, I wonder how much more we're going to see of them when they face off against each other. Look at this lumbar check right to the back by KO Oxley. He loves that backstabber. Both of Carter James and KO Oxley, they love to attack the back as much as possible. Carter James still down on the outside. Oh, tried to lift him up there. Steve was able to counter. Steve, of course, quite a tall man himself. I believe at about 6'7", 6'8". We know he's capable of pulling off the big wins. We've seen him in one-on-one action. He's been phenomenal. And David, we all know that every single one of the Wolfpac members are fantastic singles competitors who I can't imagine would be titleless if they all went their separate ways. But their combined strength have made for one hell of a power trip. And that's how they've been able to stay in control of Fight Night for so long. And now, of course, at the pay-per-view, King Sam will be going up against Aaron Albright, who will be competing in tonight's Mayhem vs. Fight Night main event. And, of course, that's another big match there between the two brands. And it'll be the last one for trades. And now look at this. KO Oxley ready to wrap this one up in the middle of the ring. Oh, well countered by David. Was looking for that powerbomb backstabber. And David finds an answer. And now gets Oxley in the corner. And Oxley's already taken some big hits. But this is going to be the biggest of the bunch. Sleeping with the Wolves. And straight into the cover. But look how quickly Carter James was there. Didn't even give him a second to react. And now look at this. Oh, face first. Beautiful move there by Steve, dealing with Carter James, who hasn't really had much time in the ring as of late. They're trying to keep KO Oxley in the ring, trying to do all the damage to him and make this a lot easier for them. But KO Oxley providing just as much of a fight. Beat counter there by Steven again. And now gets him into the corner again. Tag is made again. Back in comes David. And now look at this, a running boot to the jaw. And they're showing why they are the Fight Night Tag Team Champions. They're very upset about their last defeat. And now look at this, into the cover. But look at this, David using the ropes for leverage. And look at that, Carter James getting up there to push his feet off the ropes and break the count. Well done there by the team captain. And Oxley and James are fighting back, but the Wolfpac are overpowering them this week. They don't like to lose, the Wolfpac. And they're showing tonight just that. That will to win, that will to succeed, the will to show that they are the most dominant tag team in all of WIW history. And right now their title reign would suggest that. Long over 100 days now. Tag is made again. And this is the teamwork that we know that these two are capable of. Oh, look at that! Beautiful move there. 3D. Shades of the Dudley Boys. Almost maybe trying to wrap him up again for a super kick or a belly to belly there. Well countered, and now KO Oxley playing to the crowd, who have really got behind Oxley and James over the last couple of weeks as they've been captaining a very successful Fight Night team. And now Oxley trying to provide the fight back. Kick to the gut, stomp to the head, and an elbow to the jaw. That knockout power of KO Oxley. And now to the corner, where the big move could come in. Oh, maybe you've been looking for the tag for that double backstabber. Couldn't get the tag. And now Steve to his corner. Another tag. And it looks like they're going to do it in reverse here. Steven and Dave sleeping with the Wolves. Number 2. And once again, Carter James is so quick in there. And they've really got to take him out of the equation first. Send a cheap elbow to David, but David didn't seem to mind it at all. He kind of just shrugged it off. And now up on the shoulders, looking for a Samoan drop. Connects. Right in the face. Carter James as well, who's defenseless to do anything right now because KO Oxley just can't get a second and make the tag. Big counter, and he finally gets the space to do it, and in comes Carter James, who's probably the freshest man in the ring right now. Carter James spins him around. Might have been looking for the kill switch there. Didn't go for it. Instead gets countered on the suplex by David, who's going to go for the cover. He knows that Oxley isn't exactly in the best position to come and break it up. He's tired, he's hurt, he's taken a hell of a beating. 2 sleeping with the Wolves, a pedigree, a super kick, package pile driver. He's taken the lot. And now it looks like he's going to get one of his own. Package pile driver from David. Package pile driver. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Carter James? No! 2.5, and that was very close. And the Wolfpac, what a fight they are bringing to Oxley and James, the team captains. And last week, they're trying to get it across that it was a fluke, and right now they're kind of showing it. But Oxley and James refusing to let them prove that to the opposite corner. Is he going to tag in Oxley again? He might. Oh no, David doesn't let him. Kicks to the jaw, then a counter, and then a kick to the back of the leg. Oh, tried to spin him around there with the fist. He got him to turn around anyway. Snap suplex. And what a tag team encounter this has been. And Carter James playing to the crowd. Since becoming team captain of Mayhem, he's had nothing but success. Of course, he already beat the team captain of Mayhem and Jaden. Of course, Jaden, the new team captain. Now look at this. Oh, there's the kill switch. David in trouble now. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, and he only gets the 2. Now Carter James going to continue to work away on him, but look at this, David. Able to slip out. The tag team champs have been such a good run. They don't want to let this run end again to Carter James and KO Oxley. Now look at this, lifting him up. Oh, beautiful slam. Uranagi, and straight into the cover. Is Steve going to be able to get there in time? He doesn't need to. He saw that. I think there was a little bit of communication there between the two. He almost turned around and said to him, he doesn't need it. But look at Carter James, who's been storming right now. So he's coming in off the tag and a beautiful slam down onto the mat face first. And if I'm sounding a little bit under the weather, it's probably because I am, but I thought I'd just get that out there as I'm trying to discreetly wipe my nose. Anyway, Carter James and KO Oxley really fighting back here. What can they do here? The tag is made, and we know what's coming next. Oxley and James, double backstabber! Double backstabber, and straight into the cover. Is Steve going to be able to get there and break it up? He isn't, I don't think. Oxley James, no! Oh, I saw the hand go down on the mat. I thought it was 3. But David just barely kicks out. David kicks. And clearly Steve knew that, which is why he had no intention of getting himself involved. And now look at this, a knee bar. And this could be where he gets him here. David not great with submissions. Oh, but he's able to power his way out of that one. Oh, look at this, begging him to get back to his feet. Right in the Wolfpac corner. Package pile driver again. Package pile driver. Oh, but his hand's on the ropes. Surely. Oh, but the referee hasn't counted it. 2. Oh, and it's a 2.5 count. And now he's going for it again, David. Carter James being dealt with. Oh, but he counters it. Counters the package pile driver. Steve went for a cheap shot there, but KO Oxley went for one himself. And they both managed to duck each other's. What a fantastic tag team encounter this has been, and we haven't even reached tonight's main event. And Oxley taking him down there with a downward spiral. And KO Oxley left alone once again in the ring with his partner down on the outside. But yet still not backing down. Carter James finally back to his feet. Or went for a running knee there, couldn't connect. Trying to flip him over with the suplex. Nope, a counter of his own and into another suplex. And KO Oxley and Carter James, after a really slow start, are really bringing it to the tag team champions, but they're refusing to give in as well. Someone's got to budge eventually, but the question is, which team's going to go first? Which team will crack? Tried to maybe connect for sleeping in the walls, sends him to the opposite corner to his team, and he makes the tag. And now going for it again, Oxley and James for a second, double backstabber! Double backstabber! And KO Oxley and Carter James have done it. No! How the hell is this match still going? Both teams just kicking out of everything right now. And this is an unbelievable contest between two teams who are both eager for success, eager for gold. And neither team wants to give a second of room. Big knee drop to the back of David. And he might tag out. He does. In comes KO Oxley. Carter James just trying to keep himself relatively fresh if he can. But then again, Oxley's taking some hits, and we've seen him lose the control in the match a couple of times already. Oh, went for a springboard there, but just couldn't connect. And now David picks him straight back up. That's usually not a good sign. And I was right. Oh, and a package shot to the knee. And with no Steve at ringside, he might just have to go for another one. By himself, though, sleeping with the walls, but one half of it with the package pile driver. And is Carter James going to be able to get there in time? 1, 2, I don't think he is. Oh, he just, right as the count was about to hit 3, Carter James makes it. This match continues again. And even though the pay-per-view is just days away, neither team willing to give an edge. Oh, sorry, I'm really struggling to breathe right now. Tag made. And another tag made. Steve and Carter James into the match. Oh, look at this. They run into each other there, but gets taken out with a double leg drop and another drop kick before Steve even gets back to his feet. Now Steve being brought back to his feet. Spun around. Oh, was looking for the kill switch. Well countered there by Steve. And now Steve looking for slice. Brennan connects and straight into the cover. His tag team partner's down. This could be enough to pick up the win. It's a 2. Straight away tags in David, who's looked phenomenal in this matchup, it has to be said. And now just working away here on the neck, wrenching away. They're just trying to wrap this one up because this has been one hell of a contest and neither side seems to be able to get the advantage into the cover. Oh, and Oxley felt like he needed to get involved there. He runs into the ring, but it looks like Carter James found the strength to kick out at 2. And now trying to fight on some more. Neither side has really got the job done here. Oh, look at this. What's he thinking? Oh, and onto the turnbuckle. Beautiful move there. Hooks both arms and then crashing him into the turnbuckle face first. Oh, look at this. He ran right into that. Oh, well countered though. And into a DDT. And now ready to put him away. David's in trouble. This is not good. Carter James, can he get it done? Looking for the Uranagi slam again. Uranagi. And into the cover. Is Steve going to be able to get there to break it up in time? Yes, he is. Very close. 2.5 count, but the Wolfpac survive. And this has been a back and forth affair. Which way is this one going to go? Look at it for the flying elbow and connects. David and Steve. Oxley and James. Only one team's going to walk out the winner. They might both walk out the winner at the pay-per-view. But who's walking out tonight's winner? Now what are they setting up for here? Oh, look at this. Putting it all on the line here. Look at this. Oh my God. Tower of Doom superplex. Oh my God. And desperate times calling for desperate measures. Doing whatever it takes to get the job done here tonight. Now Oxley. What's he thinking? Deciding on what to do here. He's going to go top rope, high risk. Look at it fly and misses the elbow drop. David able to shrug off the Tower of Doom superplex. Wants to tag out. And Steve was taking a little bit of time to taunt there before making the tag. Oh, and a massive Insecurity. Did you see the connection on that one? Now Steve to the opposite side of the ropes. What's he thinking? Looking to fly. Oh, there's a frog splash to the back. And of course Oxley and James, usually the master of target in the back. But now tonight, getting a few shots to the back as well. They're just trying anything they can at this point to wrap this one up. Carter James and KO Oxley both still fighting strong. And so are the tag team champions. And wouldn't you love to see this match again for the tag team championships? Because this one's been going on for a while. And yet neither team can come out a clear winner, or at least a clear favourite of who's going to walk out the winner, because this has been a back and forth affair. Even though it started with Wolfpac control, David tagged in again. Oh, but look at this. Carter James didn't even give him a second to run in. Rolling him up. Here. Is he going to roll into the cover at some point? He is. And David, caught off guard as he's been brought back in. Is it going to steal it? Yes, it is on the roll-up. Oxley and James win on the roll-up. And not the way we would have expected it to end. But it's the win nonetheless, again for the Fight Night team captains. Their second win over the Wolfpac in 2 consecutive weeks. And what a contest. It's a shame it had to end on a roll-up. But Carter James and KO Oxley have done it again. They've picked up the win and shown their strength as the team captains. Well, now they're going to be sending a warning to everyone in their division. Because, especially to the Wolfpac, they've beaten them twice now. And if they win at Mind Games, they lead their team to glory. then you've got to imagine that these two teams are going to face again very soon for that tag team championship titles. Well, we know that the Chaos Twins will have a second chance under the orders of the GM, but the question is, what will happen when these two collide for the tag team titles? We'll have to find out, but it is time to move on to tonight's main event. Main event tonight then, and it's another Mayhem versus Fight Night affair. Well, Max Danger was in last Mayhem's main event, or no, the Mayhem before that, so he got some warm-ups, and now it's time for SaLgames, one of the members of Team Fight Night, to get some warm-up tonight. We already know who his opponent is. I mentioned it earlier on tonight. He's going up against the WYW champion, Aaron Albright. And for anyone who watched the trial era, firstly, be sure to go back and watch them, because even though they don't go towards history, they were actually some fantastic episodes, and they were very early here on the Gaming Blake Network. So be sure to check them out. You'll see how much WYW has changed for the better. Of course, it was WYW back then. But SaLgames and Aaron Albright once faced before in a tables match for the television championship. Of course, at the time, SaLgames, the most dominant champion we had ever seen, of course, has slipped off since then, and Aaron Albright has excelled since then. When that match happened, Aaron Albright put himself through a table, and then proceeded to be put through a table by the champion, who went on to pick the win up. But here comes the champ. Now, here comes the phenomenal one, the X Factor, the superstar, the WYW champion, Aaron Albright. 1 or 2 nights away from the biggest fight of his life, as he faces for the WIW and World Heavyweight Championship at the Mind Games pay-per-view in the main event for the ages. He takes on King Sam, who he's been exchanging words with for weeks, but we have yet to see these two collide in the ring. And of course, this man, as I mentioned, has done so much since the trial era. In the trial era, he was a loser, quite frankly. Couldn't beat anyone. The only big win he ever got was against Matt Silver, who lost as well. If you remember Matt Silver, you are a true OG. Trust me. But here we go. Bell rings, and away we go. And Aaron Albright is going to want to send a message to King Sam, who's been resting up tonight. He's been out of action. He's kept himself backstage, just watching on. And I'm sure he'll be watching this one with a very close eye. And now look at this. SaLgames going to get straight to work here. This is important as well for Fight Night, because for Mayhem, because they need this win. And no surprise that they sent out their WIW champion again. Has already done a Mayhem versus Fight Night battle, but of course that ended in disqualification as Skeens came into the ring and speared Big Willie, which gave Big Willie the win. But the GM came out and said that that does not count, and that no one will get a new superstar for that. So tonight, Albright gets his proper match, and it's against his former adversary in SaLgames. These two have faced on many occasions. We're both lingering around the mid-card championship or in the television in the days of the trial era. But since then, one has fallen from grace, and the other has risen to beyond grace. The 3-time world champion, and no one would have ever pictured that coming out of the trial era. Look at this pile driver right to the skull of SaLgames. Of course, SaLgames will be looking for a title opportunity, of course, if he can beat the Team Mayhem at the pay-per-view. Just kicks him away for a bit of added distance for the double axe handle. Yeah, a win at the pay-per-view could mean big things for Max Danger, KO Oxley, Carter James, and SaLgames. All of them will be granted not tag team titles. All of them will be granted title opportunities. We imagine that Oxley and James will be granted a tag team title opportunity. For SaLgames, maybe going back to the television championship could be his best call of action. And for Max Danger, God knows what he'd do. He already has himself a world title opportunity. He has, of course, the Money in the Bank briefcase, which he still has yet to cash in. And Aaron Albright needs to be wary of that, because the general manager has already said he's more than welcome to cash in on any title at any time. So he needs to keep his eye out, because if he decides to make the switch to Mayhem, which could be a worthy tactic, it could be another spell cut short for the phenomenal one. So he needs to watch out for that very closely. And now SaLgames to the middle rope. He's looked okay coming out the gate here. Aaron Albright struggling a little bit. And I guess he has the psychological advantage, because he's never lost to Aaron Albright. And Aaron Albright, of course, last time they faced, was not in a good place, was not a strong fighter, wasn't the best of competitors. And as I say, he's evolved so much since then, he's almost unrecognisable from the self that he was before. And now look at this. Oh, just taken down there with the leg sweep. And we had a feeling this one would be a good one, and it hasn't failed to live up to the hype yet. These two bringing it all to the table here in hopes of picking up a win right before the pay-per-view. And here comes the WIW champion with the Famouser. And straight into the cover off the Famouser. We've seen him wrap up wins with this before. And he only gets a 2 count. Look at his face. He can't believe it. Albright doesn't want to stay in the ring for long. He's got the biggest match of his life at the pay-per-view and doesn't want to spend any more time in this ring than 100% necessary. And that's why he's setting him up here. The X Factor. Looking for it. Can he connect? Looking for it. Super kick to SaLgames. And has he finally done it? Has he picked up his first ever win to SaLgames? 2. No, it's not. He's kicked out at 2.5. And Albright can't believe it. Those are his best moves. He's brought out the Famouser. That was a 2 count. He brought out the super kick. That was a 2 count. He doesn't really have many bigger moves to bring to the table. He's going to need to bring out something big here to pull off this win. And Aaron Albright, the 3-time world champion now, might be on the receiving end of some pressure now because SaLgames is kicked out. Now needs to capitalise. Needs to start building some momentum. Maybe connect with that devastating GTS. Maybe the DDT, which we've seen destroy people in the past. And right on cue, there's the DDT. And straight into the cover goes SaLgames too. Oh! And Aaron Albright left it a little late there to kick out at 2.5. But he does. And straight back up. SaLgames senses he's weak. He senses the chance is near. Gets him up on the shoulders. Looking for the GTS. No! Well countered. And escaped. He manages to make the escape there, Aaron Albright. And now begging him to get up. What's he thinking? What's he got in store? Oh, I see what he's going for. Hook of the arm. Looking for the brainbuster if he can connect. Yes, he can. Brainbuster. Brainbuster. And drags him to the middle of the ring. Has he done it? Has the WIW champion finally beaten SaLgames? Yes, he has. Aaron Albright did it. Mayhem. Pick up a new superstar who we won't, of course, see until after the pay-per-view. But that was a big win. That was something that he desperately needed. He's faced SaLgames on many occasions and has not yet picked up the victory, but finally gets the job done. Did you see SaLgames' arm there? I just see that at the corner of my eye. His arm pretty much broke on as he connected with the ropes. Well, that was the DDT we thought was turning the tide, and the GTS that followed after didn't connect. And that led to the Brainbuster being connected. And Aaron Albright gets some much-needed momentum, but look at this! Here comes King Sam! Oh, and look at this! Crashing him on the ropes! Did you see his arms there? Alright then. Sending warnings here, King Sam, that half-and-half shirt. Oh, there's the running knee! And is this an image of what we're going to see when both these two champions collide in the ring at Mind Games? The chicken wing locked in, and Aaron Albright taps. Everybody taps. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the warning has been sent, and all the build-up is over. The next show is Mind Games, and I cannot wait for it. Who will walk out on top? But more importantly, which brand will walk out the winner? Will it be Team Mayhem or will it be Team Fight Night? That is going to wrap up tonight's show though. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. And I will catch you guys at Mind Games. Peace.